Literally, according to them, my credit score is, get this, 50 points lower than it actually is. Also, two things can be true. You can have faith, but also be frustrated. Welcome back to the vlog. As you can tell by the title of this video, it's gonna be like a chit chat, get ready with me, kind of like a life update. The last vlog y'all saw was my birthday vlog in DC. DC was literally such a vibe, but like I haven't been, vlogging consistently, like weekly vlogs and stuff like I usually do. So I just wanted to like update y'all, and also I kind of need to vent. So I got a couple things going on like in my life. So today is like Sunday, January 22nd. I'm actually going to brunch today. So fun fact, last time I did a chit chat, get ready with me, I was going to brunch with the same group of people. And I'm literally about to go to brunch with the same group of people. We're probably gonna go to the same place too. So yeah, a little deja vu, I guess. Basically, it's like a lot that's been going on. First of all, I'm really hungry, y'all. So if I sound groggy, that's why. Oh, just realized I have some cookies. Pause for a cookie break. That's why I always like to keep snacks, because you never know when you're gonna need it. All right, that's done. I also took my vitamins. I take these vitamin D supplements because y'all know I struggle with seasonal depression, and I honestly really do find them helpful. It's still a struggle, but the vitamin D supplements have been helpful. So first, apartment hunting. Y'all know I've been like, just working hard for several months now, so that I can move out of my parents' house. I don't know if I ever like told y'all the whole story, but essentially I lived in Chicago. I graduated from, I was about to say high school. I graduated from college in 2019. And then that summer I moved to Chicago because a job brought me there. That's when I was working as a financial analyst. Yeah, I was working in Chicago as a financial analyst. And actually around this time of year, so January 31st, 2020, which is actually coming up, kind of dreading that, but January 31st, my grandmother on my dad's side passed away, and I came back here, here to New York, for the funeral, and everything, but literally, like, I went back to Chicago, and I literally, like, could not, like, handle myself, like, it was just a lot, dealing with, like, grief. That was, like, the first person that I lost that was that close to me. Yeah. It was just all bad. That's like essentially mentally I hit rock bottom, essentially. So I left my job and I moved back here. So that was March 2020 that I moved back here. I literally moved back here like the day of, either the day before, the day of, or the day after the quarantine started in New York, which was like March 15th, something like that. So basically, since then I've been like working to like get back on my feet here to move out of my parents' house. So yeah, I've been apartment hunting actually. I don't know if I've told y'all this before. I might have, but yeah, I've been apartment hunting for the last month. So in December, what happened is I found an apartment. Literally the price was ridiculously good. I feel like not just for New York City, well, not for anywhere, because New York City is, the rent is higher here. But I found a great apartment that's actually not too far from my parents' house, but far enough to where it's like I feel like I still have like my privacy, which clearly is like the point. So yeah, there's that. I applied and I did not get it for literally like the dumbest reason. I think the broker was just being shady and was just like was already planning to give it to another person, but like somehow made me apply anyway. It was just annoying. So yeah, there's that. So that happened. And then after that, I really honestly, I really got emotionally attached to that apartment, which I now know you don't do. You don't get attached to anything until you sign a lease, okay? But yeah, I really was emotionally attached to the apartment. So I think I kept looking a little bit. Oh no, my realtor got sick with COVID a little bit after that, literally like that week. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just, take a break from apartment hunting. And my birthday was coming up anyway. This was like mid-December at this point, like around I think I went to see the apartment like December 13th or something like that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just give it a little break. Like my birthday's coming up. I was going on a trip. I'm like, you know what? Let me just focus on my birthday. And because I struggle with seasonal depression, there's only so much I can handle when I'm already not feeling my best. And I feel like that's not just for people with seasonal depression. I feel like that's just overall. When you're not feeling your best, you only want to handle so much. I feel like this eyebrows look a little wonky, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, fast forward to I knew I came back from my birthday trip on what's this thing called? On January 2nd. And literally I had in my mind, I'm like, yo, the second I get back from DC, I'm hitting the ground running to get the hell out of here. I already knew that. I had that in my mind, yo, excuse me, the second I touch down from DC, it's go time. I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'm looking everything. So the update is right now I'm not doing it with the realtor. Honestly, I kind of just want to save, I just want to save that money, and I don't feel like paying rent times 3. So if I could save that money, why not? Because that's definitely money I could use to furnish my apartment and everything. So yeah, there's that. So I've been looking online and stuff like that. Literally, I can't even begin to explain what has happened with every apartment that I've seen or every apartment that I'm interested in. Either it's I'm looking online, of course. So either it's I can't get in touch with the broker because they are not responding. I'm sending them. Usually I'll send the inquiry, through whether it's Zillow, Street Easy, whatever. Sometimes Trulia. So it's I'll send the inquiry. Sometimes they'll reply, sometimes they won't. Most times they actually don't reply. Yeah, so most times they don't reply. So getting them to even reply to an inquiry to just see the apartment is pulling teeth. And with the exception of certain buildings that I'm already familiar with, I always want to go see the apartment in person because yeah, the inside of the apartment, I could see a video to show me that. Okay, cool. But the building itself, the area, everything, you can only see certain things when you go in person. Speaking of going in person, so there was one time, this was maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks ago. Hold on, let's drink water, child. Yeah, so maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so about 2 weeks ago, I went to go see an apartment. The apartment itself, I saw a video of the apartment. So I'm like, yo, this apartment, the apartment itself was literally perfect. No complaints, everything, there's no brushes. The apartment itself, looked great, spacious, no complaints. But of course, I went in person to make sure that as, holistically, it made sense. So that's the area, the building itself, that kind of thing. And I'm always glad that I do these things because literally I walk into the building, it's people smoking. And again, I'm not a smoker, but whatever, it's people smoking, literally, mind you, this is the middle of the day, the middle of the day. Like, it's like, it was between, I think I went and saw it at noon, around noon. So people smoking smoking weed in the lobby. And for some reason, the lobby felt a little dark, but I'm like, it's the middle of the day. Why is the lobby dark? And it's a big lobby. So people smoking weed. And then literally, as I'm walking up to the building, mind you, I work from home. And I just don't like a bunch of noise. Like, I don't like a bunch of noise. Yeah, so, whatchamacallit? I was gonna say something. Why can't I find my train of thought? Oh, I'm so sorry. I must be tired. I knocked out so cold last night. But yeah, so as I'm walking up to the building, literally someone is standing outside of the building, and they lived in the building too, because they were the ones that ended up opening the door for me. Because I was trying to get in, because I couldn't get in contact with the freaking the broker that was showing me the apartment, that like the person that listed the apartment. I'm trying to communicate. I was literally trying to communicate with him all morning, letting him know, you know, I'm on my way. I'm running late. I'm this far away. I'm not getting any responses, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take the chance and still go, because I was already on my way at that point. But besides the point, he's blasting music mad loud from his car. This guy that was standing outside, the one that ended up letting me into the building, blasting music mad loud from his car. For no, literally, imagine in the middle of the day. It's not a Saturday, it's a weekday. Like, literally, in the middle of the day. For no, like, literally, he has the door open to the door to his car was open. Door to his car was open. And, literally just blasting music out of it, mad loud. You know, the whole building can hear it, the whole freaking block can hear that shit. Like, literally, I was just so confused. So that's like, okay, number one, it's noisy. So I walk in, I see people smoking weed. I'm like, mind you, like, this smell, my nose was irritated for like the next couple hours because it was that strong. And it wasn't like they were like hood dudes per se, like literally just chilling in the lobby, like clearly. And again, middle of the day, clearly this is what they do. So I'm like, you know what, let me just hurry up and get up to the apartment. I had to walk past them to get to the elevator. They were kind of by the elevator, so while I'm waiting for the elevator, I'm being nosy, you know, overhearing their conversation. And they were talking literally about people, like new people coming into like the apartment building and like them renting out a bunch of apartments. And I saw, so the video that was sent to me of the apartment in advance was on YouTube, and I saw that the same realtor had a bunch of other apartments in that building that they had listed recently as well. So I'm like, yeah, it seems like they're trying to, it seems to me like they're trying to like maybe convert the demographic of the building, but I'm not like literally, no, like I don't do noise. That's just, and that's just, call me picky, whatever. I really don't like whatever, because I just don't like noise. And again, I literally work from home, so it literally doesn't make sense for me to live somewhere that's noisy. Literally doesn't make sense, but whatever. So there's that. So that building was a dub. So literally so I get up to the building, not the building, up to the apartment. I'm trying, again, still have not been able to get in contact with the freaking broker that listed the apartment, or whatever, agent, whatever, that listed the apartment. I'm in front of the apartment, still haven't heard anything from the broker. I'm like, you know what, let me just stand in front and like see if the apartment's open. I try to open the apartment door, it's not open. I'm like, all right, whatever. I think as I was taking out my phone, or like I was like, let me wait a couple minutes, I'll get in like 5 minutes, whatever. As I turn around, there was like a staircase, like an open staircase, you know, in addition to the elevator. Someone's literally smoking in the staircase. Mind you, I'm on the 3rd floor at this point. So someone was literally smoking in the staircase too. So I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna live here anyway. And the real estate agent hadn't even gotten in contact with me. So I'm like, yeah, no, nope. Especially like literally, you know when something happens and it's like your last straw? That's exactly what that was. That was my last straw. So I'm like, you know what? No. So fast forward, I leave, I get to the bus stop to take my behind right back home. to my parents' house. As I'm, and I think I saw like a furniture store, like the bus, I forgot what happened. I just ended up just like walking to like a further bus stop or something. I was just like, I need to get out of here as soon as possible. I think I just was like walking to like the next like limited bus stop or something like that. I don't know. So I'm walking, I see a furniture store, you know, I just go in and actually saw a nice couch. You know, because whenever I see a furniture store that I haven't seen before, I always, you know, go in, because clearly I'm gonna be in the market for furniture soon. You know, whatever. So I'm walking, minding my business after I've seen this disastrous apartment. Mind you, my nose is still irritated. I'm so pissed. Whatever. The real estate agent finally calls me back like, oh, hey, I'm here. I'm like, oh, I already came and I left. And he was like, oh, why didn't you tell me? I was like, I was trying to contact you all day and I didn't hear anything back. And like literally he sounded mad, but in my head I'm like, how's this my problem? I'm really confused. That's how this is my problem. Where's my powder? Here we go. Handy dandy Laura Mercier. Morphe is a good dupe for it though, because I'm not always gonna spend $40 on powder. Anywho, so he's basically getting aggy with me, but I told him honestly, like, I'm not gonna live there anyway, because the building, like the people smoking in the front and in the lobby and stuff like that, like that's just not, it's not gonna work for me. He was like, oh, you know, I get it, whatever. But he sounded mad or whatever about me not telling him I was outside or I was there. But mind you, I've been trying to get in contact with you and you did not reply. So I'm really confused. Like, yeah, granted, I probably should have told him when I was outside, but honestly, the whole thing threw me off with like the loud music. And then I walked in, greeted by the smell of weed, like, immediately, no. And that's just one of the experiences I've had. Another one, like this one other building, literally, the location is perfect, quiet building. Literally, the only thing is that the elevator's old, but I mean, it works, so that's the main point. And they have steps, and I like that the steps, it's like open steps. It's not like the ones that are kind of like, it looks like you have to open a door to get to the steps. It's literally like open, which I like. Makes my life easier. Literally, and the price is perfect. But that building, literally, I was supposed to, there was 2 apartments I saw in that building. First apartment, it was so hard to get in contact with them, like it is with many of these people. It was so hard to get in contact with them. And then, whatchamacallit? It was so hard to get in contact with them. And then, by the time I finally did, like someone finally reached out to me, scheduled a tour. Literally, this is like the night, it was maybe like a Monday night or Sunday night. Yeah, it was maybe like a Monday night or Tuesday night that the tour, that I scheduled the tour finally for this apartment. Literally midnight, I got an email saying, I'm so sorry, the apartment was taken. Literally, which is why I was trying to get in contact with these people so that the apartment wasn't taken, because it was a good apartment and I knew it would be taken quickly. Like, but yeah, like literally, which is why I was trying to get to the apartment. Like, literally, it was just, so fast forward, another apartment becomes available in that building. So I hit up the person that originally scheduled the tour for me to see the other apartment in that building. And she was like, oh, I don't even see it. Like, I guess there's like a directory for like her whole brokerage or whatever. She didn't even see it in the directory. And she said she can't even get in contact with the person who listed it, because the person hasn't even been in the office in like a month. Literally. So all of my attempts, I'm telling you, like, I'm calling these people, like, excuse me. I'm like calling these people, emailing them, sending inquiries through their website, trying to get into this apartment, excuse me, to at least tour it. And because I know the area, and at one point, I actually like went to kind of just like scope out the apartment. Of course I wasn't able to get into the apartment, but like I was able to get into the building and like, you know, like scope out the area. So literally at this point, like even without seeing the apartment in person, I would have applied for it because it's a great area. You know, the inside looks good enough from, you know, the pictures and stuff. And again, I'm familiar with the area. That's like the most important part, one of the most important things. And I saw the building for myself and I'm like, yeah, that's a good one. I don't even mind. I'm like, is there a way I can even apply for it without just even touring it first? Because I just don't want this apartment to get taken. And of course, they were not communicating with me. Like, it was just a mess. And I finally, actually that same realtor that scheduled the tour for that first apartment that was canceled at midnight the night before, whatchamacallit, I actually, like a couple days ago, I went before work to go see some apartments with her. One of them was way out of my price range, so it was an extra one. Like, that was the one I planned to see. She was like, oh, I just happened to have this in the area. It was literally across the street. And I'm like, oh, I'll see it. But I knew I wasn't going to get it because I'm very strict on my budget when it comes to apartment hunting. But the one that was in my budget, the one that I originally went to see, the apartment itself, like, it's fine. Like, totally see myself living there or whatever. But the building, I'm not really a fan of the building. And then all the windows are facing the back of the building. And I've actually been in apartments that face the back of the building, but they get lots of sunlight and the view isn't horrible. So I'm open to those. I don't think I'm unreasonable, but literally, it was literally facing trash. Like, it was trash that wasn't even in trash bags, like just trash. And there was little to no sunlight. And I'm glad I peeped because she stepped out of the apartment when I wanted to take a video because she didn't want to be in the video, which is fine. And I'm glad because I'm like, you know what? Let me turn the lights off and see how it looks with just sunlight. Mind you, it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning. It's like 9:30. That's when it's supposed to be, you know, bright. Literally, it was dark. Literally dark at 9:30 in the morning. And again, like, and it's funny, like, I was kind of thinking about it, but I actually mentioned it to my brother, and he was like, I don't really think you're gonna do well without sunlight. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm not. Like, literally, I just explained to y'all how I suffer from seasonal depression, right? And you need sunlight, and not just in the winter, and like, you know, every season you need sunlight. And I don't want to have to leave my apartment to get some sun. And again, sometimes you should clearly, you know, go feel the actual sun, but like, I need natural lighting. And also, that's going to make my electric bill a lot higher because instead of only having lights on for half the day when the sun is up, I would have lights on for the whole day from the time I wake up in the morning. Like, what do I look like? Oh. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, there is that. In addition to like so many other things, like there was even an apartment that I applied for, and then when they checked my credit score, according to them, which is like literally, I don't know, I still feel like that's a lie, but literally according to them, my credit score is, get this, 50 points lower than it actually is. According to them. And that pissed me off, but it's twofold. It's pissed me off and I'm still not happy about that situation. But I will say, when I started this whole process, and this is me like being transparent, when I started this whole process, I was like, my prayer is always to be in the Lord's will in whatever I do, but especially with this, because like, this is not necessarily going to be like my forever home, because I ain't gonna stay in no apartment forever, but I'm gonna be there for a while. Like, I plan to like really kind of like place my roots down at that apartment, because I've been like, I just, you know, was in school, so, you know, of course, when you're away at school, you're like moving in and out of the dorms. And then I was here for a few months before I moved to Chicago. Then I moved back from Chicago, with it always knowing that eventually I would get back on my feet and move out again. So like, I really just want this to be a place where I can just like settle, you know, just like settle myself, like essentially settle down, you know, yeah, place where I can essentially settle down. So this is somewhere where I'm gonna be for a while, so like, it has to be right, you know. And I'm not saying it has to be perfect. I'm very like aware that there's a level of compromise, but sorry, the lighting is not great for some reason, but I'm gonna have to, you know, of course, you know, compromise, you know, you gotta be realistic. Like, if an apartment doesn't have an elevator and the price is really, really good where it's worth it to like struggle with steps, okay. If the price is right, if it's worth it, sure, why not? That's like kind of my thought process. Because that first apartment I was telling y'all about that I saw that I applied and they didn't give it to me, but they made me apply anyway, which was dumb. That had steps, but the price was so good, baby. I needed to work. I needed to get in shape anyway, so it was worth it, right? So, yeah, I'm not unrealistic, but it's just annoying. But yes, as I was saying, sorry, I keep getting off track, y'all. This is just a mess. Good job. Yeah, I asked the Lord to really guide me, and I wanted to be in his law, and literally, I'm like, yo, whatever it is. Oh, this is from Sarcastic Cosmetics, Black-owned brand. But yeah, I literally was like, yo, not yo, but, you know, if it's not in your will, Lord, don't let it happen. And that is literally what's been happening. I think especially with that credit situation, like literally, I've never seen something so crazy where they mess up your credit score so much. I mean, if it's maybe their system gave me credit score that was maybe 5 points lower than my own, maybe even 10, which would still be crazy, but not now. Freaking literally almost exact. Oh, actually, no, it was like 52 points lower than what my credit score actually is, which is literally just so bananas. Like, what is wrong with these people? And then I literally went into my TransUnion credit score. I got my Equifax, my job paid for, I think it was a TransUnion I had to pay for. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but, I got my credit scores. I'm like, this is not what, I'm like, am I bugging? Like, cause the number they give, I don't think my credit score has ever even been that low. Like, literally, I'm like, am I bugging? I went into all these things to get my credit score. And they were like, oh no, we can't use another system. We can only use our own. And it's like very reputable. We use it for all of our people. Da 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 da. And there's a bunch of other stuff that goes into that too. But literally, it's just been so hard and so annoying. I was out with one of my girls last night and she was just like, mind you, that was very fun. It's part of why I'm a little groggy this morning, but it was fun. It was worth it. But she was just like, maybe this is God telling you like it's not the time right now, which is like, I don't know, because I'm very sure that I'm supposed to move out. I'm very sure that I'm not supposed to stay here living with my parents. And honestly, I really don't want to, but that's something I've been sure of literally since I got back from Chicago. I was very sure of that. And I feel like in terms of like geographically, I know I need to put some edge control on this, but anywho, I know geographically I'm supposed to be in New York right now. Like, I just need to like get certain things in place, before I think about moving somewhere else. Because I know clearly, I'm born and raised here, but I know that New York is not my last stop. There's much more out there for me. And the way this winter has been hitting me, honestly, I might go somewhere warmer at some point. But for now, like, I know like there are certain things I need to get in place before I move again. So, I'm fine with being here. And honestly, I have a community here. To keep it a buck with y'all, like, literally, I was able to go out with one of my girls last night. And then I had a really hard time this week. So on Wednesday, another one of my girls, I was literally just able to tag along with her doing like errands and laundry and stuff. Because I just needed to get out and like, I just needed someone to talk to. And I already know like, it's not going to be that when I move somewhere else. And I'm not saying like, granted, people move other places all the time and build communities there. Clearly, I know I can do that. But I feel like I need to like kind of wrap my head around being able to do that first before I go anywhere else. And I'm just very happy with my community here. And I feel like, again, that's part of what's helping me like settle down essentially. And I'm not saying again, like I'm not gonna live here forever, but that is one of the things, like getting like, that is literally a big part of it. Like, my mental health and like my comfortability here. Like, again, like if I need someone to talk to, if I need a hug, I know who to go to, and that takes time when you move somewhere else. Like, I feel like we all know, unless you already have people there, like, and I feel like it's a very high possibility that wherever I go next, I might not have people there. I might not know anyone there. So you know, I'm going to have to be mentally prepared to go through a period of just kind of like not having that physical support. Because granted, I've lived other places. I lived in Albany when I was in school. I had a couple people that I already knew there. Shout out to y'all. In Chicago, I didn't know anybody, but I was still very, like, the relationships I have, for the most part, they've been maintained from even before college. So no matter where I am, I know I'll have them, but it just hits different when you're able to be in, you know, the same space geographically, you know? So yeah, I have to like mentally prepare myself to do that, and I'm just not there right now. And again, I know, you know, being in Brooklyn is not the last stop for me by any means. But yeah, but this winter, I'm not gonna hold y'all, really has me considering going somewhere warmer. Cause this is a lot. Or you never know, maybe one day, like at least in the month of January, maybe I'll like go to where one of my siblings are. My siblings live in LA and Houston. So maybe one of these days I'll like, if we're still working remote, maybe I'll just go stay with them for like a month or something. I'm high-key running low on time. I want to talk to y'all about a couple other things too, but I'm gonna put my lip on. I'm sorry, I'm dry. I'm gonna put my lip on, literally just gonna do something nude. I'm gonna put my lip on, get dressed, finish my hair, and then I'll be back. Hey y'all, I'm back. Let's hope that this stays intact. Today, but like I put a little mousse here. I put a little bit of mousse here because the front got wet in the shower earlier today, so yeah, honestly, I kind of feel a little bit like a stuffed sausage today. I'll show y'all my outfit in a bit, but it's literally, I just had to pick y'all up. But yeah, I feel a little bit like a stuffed sausage today. Ignore anything that's going on in the background. So I have these pants on from Shein. They're large, but last time I wore them was in DC. I didn't have a belt on, mistake number one. So I put a belt on, but they're just like tight, but they do have a lot of stretch. So, and they're not high-waisted, so that's why you're getting this little stuffed sausage effect, but it's okay. But yeah, as I was telling y'all, the apartment hunting process is just a lot. I was actually talking to my brother about it, and y'all know he lives in LA. And he was telling me that they didn't have to do, like, he didn't have to, he's lived in, you know, a couple different apartments, of course. He's been there for a while. And he was telling me, like, how the apartment search out there isn't even as bad. Mind you, the cost of living is similar here and there. So, like, the whole broker fee thing is not a thing, apparently, in LA, unless you use a realtor. So that even gives me even more slim pickings because I don't want to pay a broker fee because, again, y'all didn't do anything. So why am I paying you a broker fee as if you helped me? So yeah, but you know, just keep me in prayer. I am, again, like a firm believer, like me saying all of this and like venting to y'all and like being like frustrated about the process, it's not a lack of faith. Like, I'm very aware, like, honestly, this process has shown me that God really be hearing a girl, because I really asked him, like, if it's not for me, let it not happen. And that's what's been happening. So I'm actually thankful that like the Lord hears my prayers. But it's just a lot. So like, I feel like also two things can be true. You can have faith, but also be frustrated. Like, that it doesn't mean like I'm not a believer. It doesn't mean like I have a lack of faith. It just means I'm irritated with the process. And I feel like that's very normal, you know? And you already know, like, if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you know, I'm thankful that the Lord is watching out for me, but I'm also frustrated that it's not happening. I wouldn't even say not happening. It's not happening in the timeline that I wanted it to. I wanted to be out by the end of January, but there was honestly some stuff that happened before, like in the fall, that I haven't even told y'all about, that kind of contributes, well, doesn't really contribute to it too much, but it just has added another challenge to the process. But besides the point, yeah, it's just been a lot. So I just wanted to come on here and vent. I was literally supposed to talk about like other stuff with y'all, like how I feel about being single on Valentine's Day. Again, if you haven't watched my single on Valentine's Day vlog from last year, watch it. Valentine's Day last year was lit, okay? Of course, I have stuff planned for this year, but yeah, that's another thing. Like, I want to be in my own place by Valentine's Day so I can like celebrate Valentine's Day. Like, I have plans for Valentine's Day weekend. Valentine's Day is on a Monday. I have plans for the weekend. It's gonna be good. But for Valentine's Day, there's actually stuff I kind of want to just do by myself in the house, like chill and kind of like make it special for myself. But I'm gonna have to change those plans if I'm not in my own place, you know? So yeah. And I mean, with every, week that passes or whatever, that I don't have an apartment, that's another opportunity to save. So like, there are blessings in this, but again, I can feel blessed and full of faith, but I also can be frustrated at the same time. At least that's the way I see it, because I'm human. Like, it's very rare that we only feel one emotion, at a time. So anywho, I love y'all. Be sure to subscribe. I've gotten a couple new subscribers, so hey y'all, welcome to the family. Any information that you want to know about me is gonna go ahead and be in the description box. Instagram, all that good stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I love y'all, and we get used to this hair, child. I didn't want to put heat on it because I could have easily flat ironed it, but I literally just got it done yesterday. I got a relaxer, and of course there was heat on it, so I didn't want to do too much to it today. So, we'll see. Anywho, love y'all. Bye.